So I can't thank everybody enough for all the comments.
You've changed. You're miserable.
Alright, this is my first time seeing this. I'm curious how this will go. So let's sit on it. Pause. Sit in on it. It's dirty either way.
Alright, today's topic. So this went viral. And a lot of people already trying to do with their opinion. But I figured I would show Preach because I don't think he's seen any of this. So here we go.
Hey, what are you doing? I came out to check on you.
Huh?
What are you doing? Thought you were working.
I'm looking at this.
What is it?
It's wire. It's a spool of wire. And I'm almost out of it. Can you see the spool of wire?
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost out of it.
Okay.
And I've had this spool of wire for like 40 years. I bought it like this it's not a piece of a long time ago, but it's like 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense? This is what's left. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry to hear that, and sad for you, but you're wearing your Jets hat, and I'm a little concerned right now that you're wearing your Jets hat. I thought that's why you were crying.
Okay, I'm done.
Existentialism. I'll be honest. I want to call that man and myself an ambulance. I can feel the anxiety creeping up on me, but that shit is expensive, so we can walk to the hospital and have our respective panic attacks there. But then again, that too is very expensive, so fuck it. Just good luck. Also, wait, did the Jets lose or something, or are we just shitting on the Jets fans? Which, while very funny, is not nice. See, what'd I tell you?
First thing, I'm about to reveal a secret that you gals don't know. Sometimes when you ask us, what are we thinking about? We say nothing. 75% of the time, it's actually nothing. But there's a 25% of the time that it's things like that. And we know you won't understand or won't grasp or won't understand the ramification or where we're coming from. So we shut the fuck up and we just say nothing. We put it in the nothing bin because it's nothing. It's actually nothing to you. It's really nothing. It's nothing to fuss about. It's nothing that we really want to talk about. It's nothing that you're going to be able to understand. So technically, we're not lying. It's nothing. Okay? Second thing, he was just trying to open up on some bullshit. 40 years. It's like you kind of have a relationship with certain things and it's kind of over. It's not so much about the spool of wire. Oh my God, I got a connection with some wire. It's not that. It's not that. It's the realization that 40 years of your life passed. When you just talk about, yo, I'm 40, it's tough to comprehend, but when you remember when you bought that stool, that spool of wire, you remember when you bought it, and you see the little chunks and the bits that you use of it, and when you bought it, it was so big, it was huge, you didn't think it would never end. You think it would never end. That spool would never end, and now, 40 years later, it's about that time to separate, and it's kind of an image of everything. It's an image for this channel. It's an image for this friendship. It's an image for life. It's an image for your living here, your relationship with certain people, all these things that you think and you take for granted last forever, but they don't. All of them good memories that you have, memories don't live like people do, will eventually be gone. And it's hard to materialize or to understand, but he, for once in his life, had that spool of wire in his hand that he remembers where he got it, and now it's coming to an end, and it's in front of him. That's why he's crying. And then when he shared that, you brushed it off. So when shit like that happens, I don't think he's gonna want to necessarily share more stuff. And I think that's a lot of things. Sometimes a lot of mans, it's okay for women to share things, and it's okay if they cry and stuff like that, and it's all right, and we've accepted it. But man, it's gonna be very tough to comprehend them, and we don't even give them a chance to even explain how deep that shit is. And when we get shut the door like that in our faces, we're not gonna do it again, ever. See, whenever you get the door shut in your face, you do it again to another girlfriend. You're like, fuck that bitch. And that's cool. You do it again. We don't have any space. We don't have any place. When it's shut, it's shut.
So there's a third thing. There's three things.
No, I said 1, 2, 3. Is it 3 things? No, it's a couple of things. Let me just say a couple. So I went like
2.
Maybe. Maybe
good,
no. It's not 2. It was 1. The 25.
You don't have to explain it. It's fine.
Cool.
It was very good. You lied at first, but it's still.
I lied.
Just wait. I didn't mean to brush off everything you just said.
I will never share it again.
Listen.
I will never share. I was sharing some shit. No, don't get off me. I was sharing.
Never mind.
No, go ahead. It's your turn.
First off, they have damn good levels of chemistry. I envy that. Anyways, yeah, you think it would be obvious. Like, items that you have remind you of actions that you took, feelings that you had, things that you went through, struggles you dealt with, people you knew, events that happened. Like, you're just living. You're living through the good, the bad, and the shit-tastic. So when you see something like that can really signify the passage of time, more than likely it's going to fuck with you. Like, seriously. I'm pretty sure, depending on how old you are, you've got something in your life that really signifies something. Whether it be like a stuffed animal, a skateboard, a brush, a comb, or in this case, like a tool or something, a wire, who the fuck knows? Anything, a video game, just anything that really anchors itself to your past. Like, it's probably going to fuck with you. And yeah, guys don't really get to express anything at all. It's usually just like mocked or funny. And seriously, matter of fact, Bill Burr knows what's up.
All right, let me explain that joke to functional people in the crowd. Let me explain this. All right. This is how it works with guys. Anytime you do anything remotely sensitive, heartwarming, anything that's going to make you more of a loving, caring individual, immediately all your guy friends suggest that maybe, just maybe, you want to suck a dick. Oh, it's brutal. Even if you do something smart, right? Like it's raining out, he's got an umbrella. What a fag! Oh my God! What, are you afraid of the water? Put your shoulders up, you fucking homo! Jesus Christ! Would you pull that thing out of your ass?
I was gonna say, I definitely understand. So when he was talking about, I was like, I still have this, and this represents good 13 years of my life. This jacket.
I've never seen you wear that shit again. Why you keep it?
Why do I keep it? Because when I look at it, I get a wave of emotions.
What a fag!
Much every single time. This is like, and you guys understand, Canada, it gets cold. This was this thing right here. Look how thin it is. This was my winter jacket for a long time, and people used to see it. And every time it had a new hole, because it would rip, and so I would fix it. And you guys can see some of the patches. You can see some of the bleach stains. You can see right here. Like this black, but it wasn't like that originally. I patched it all up because it kept ripping at the cuffs. Another patch, you can see that right here. It's like a different color almost. There's so many of them. Some of them are, some of them are a different color. Yeah. Like this one's green. That's what we patched it. And shout out to my homegirl who did this for me. She was really good. You can even see where it rips here. But all this to say, through a lot of like the very difficult times in my life, this was like my only jacket. I really. Kind of carried me through a lot of different seasons. People would always see this jacket. It was a little bit iconic for me. But I remember at one point, I was like, all right, it's time to retire it. And I couldn't throw it away. Couldn't get rid of it. No one's going to wear this. It's too busted up. But it means so much to me. And it's just something about it when you get into different phases of your life, or you start to feel your age in different ways, or you're going through different things where you're looking at life from a different perspective. You're looking at this item you can no longer wear or experience. And you're like, oh. And sometimes you forget memories, and then you look at an item, and it brings a whole wave of things back. Certain struggles and different times and people you met along the way. And it's like a reminder of your own mortality in some ways. It's like, oh, I'm going through different phases. Like this is going to the next one and the next one, and I'm no longer that person I was before. So yeah, objects are objects, but they could be so much more. It's kind of like people. People are people, but if you've bonded with them, if you've gone through things with them, if you've experienced, there's so much more. And it's the same thing with the things in our lives. They are tied to parts of our mind that are locked away from us. You know, these are things that are locked away. You cannot have them. But then you hold something or you listen to a song and then you live all that. And I think when I was listening to this man and he was looking at the object, it seemed like he was looking at his own mortality. 40 years is a lifetime for many. And
you thought there was so much in that spool of wire.
And you're seeing it end. And then you're probably also facing different things in your life that are making you realizing like the end is coming. And it's just a moment where you're like, and maybe you have regrets. Maybe you have things that you miss. Maybe it's people that he worked on construction gigs that are no longer there. The parents he probably did some work for who may have passed on. You know, the kids he may have built things for who moved on to college. There's all kinds of different things you can imagine. But I think in moments like that, and listen, I'm not going to admonish her too hard because I think what she did is bad. But, you know, sometimes somebody can go through a moment and you might be just brushing it off. Fine.
The thing is,
but I think it's just good for everyone to just be able to see that and be like, hey, that was what it looks like sometimes when men open up. And it's okay for it not to look like the way maybe women would traditionally open up. But it's important to be able to acknowledge those moments and not dismiss it when it happens.
True. Yeah, it's too real, actually. Like, the phase changes as you go through life just remind you of how finite everything is. When you're a kid, you feel like everything will go on forever, but really it's not. Like, it'll fade into memory in your mind, but as the years drone on, the changes become apparent. People and things that were once there today are gone tomorrow. It's gone temporarily, maybe, or gone for good. You aren't even the same makeup of atoms after a while. You're a completely new being. But of course, you have those memories that manage to cling to the new you. When that man said that about the copper wire, it was obvious he was looking at his own mortality. It's very fucking stressful. And by the way, this isn't a license to go after old girl. Not everyone is going to be in that reflective mindset. Like, people think about all sorts of shit, whether it's appropriate or not. And that's where the term intrusive thoughts come from.
There's a Quebecer expression that I really like because it really means, it englobes everything that you saw in that video. The expression goes, "Y'en reste moins qu'en restait." You say that usually about your week, whenever you had a week and it's like Friday or, Thursday, and people was like, yo, how's your week? Comment était ta semaine? Y'en reste moins qu'en restait. Which means there's
less left than what there was before.
What there was before, exactly. Just that expression, it's about your life as well. Listen, the male expectancy is what, 75? I'm 42. I'm more than half.
It's even lower for black men.
It's even lower for black men.
Yeah.
But I'm rich. Y'all reste moins. I'm just kidding. No, it doesn't matter.
What you're saying?
Yeah, but it's still
mitigates it.
It's still lower.
Yeah.
Y'all reste moins qu'en restait. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Y'all reste moins qu'en restait.
You know, I can speak to moments like this in my life where I've decided to start sharing something that was like incredibly important and personal to me. Because I'm not somebody who overly does that with partners. I'm definitely, to myself. But if I think I'm really falling for somebody and I want them to really see me, then there are things I'll tell them. And there's definitely been some times where I've done that. And if the response wasn't dismissive, I think dismissive is the right word. It's just like, I'm like, see me, and they close their eyes. That is a different type of rejection because you don't really ask too many people in your life to truly see you. It doesn't happen. I know I don't. I don't want everybody to see me. Y'all see parts of me, but all of me is a different thing. And depending on where you are in that relationship, it could be the end. It could be very difficult to come back from that. Mm-hmm. Depending on the type of personality you have. For me, it was really hurtful, for sure. And I don't think she intended to. But yeah, I don't know. I just remember that moment very distinctly and being like, ugh. And I wasn't mad at her. I was mad at myself.
Yeah, because you opened up.
Because I chose this person and I chose incorrect.
Yeah, and you that's you showing your vulnerability. And they say, nah, men need to be more vulnerable. No, you need to be vulnerable with the right people. It's not everybody that deserves that. It's not everybody that deserves that part. Me to open up. Oh, but you need to open up more. Maybe you just don't deserve that shit. I don't know what the fuck you're going to do with that. I don't trust you with that. I don't know what you're going to do.
I mean, what can I say, man? That shit's true. Like, I made a video about everything wasting your time a while back, and it goes over how little time you actually have. It's really jarring how little time we all actually have. It gets frittered away bit by bit. You use a third of your life sleeping. You use a large chunk of your life working, like an insane amount of your life working. If it's not working, it's going to school, or if it's waiting in line, or just kind of like meandering along. Like, you just cut. Like, you may spend like 6 months of your life straight just waiting for whatever reason. And that's not even counting like driving from place to place or getting stuck in like a traffic jam or whatever the fuck. You're just your life just fritters away. It fritters the fuck away. But on a side note, the few people that do enjoy me, I hope they can enjoy me for however long that I'm here. My anxiety and depression is probably going to do me in. I'm not going to lie to you. I was trying to get rich too, maybe extend my life expectancy by a little bit, but the universe said, we got some hoeing to do. But I'm like, there's more deserving people, right, that deserve to get fucked over. Like, even if you got me out of a drunken stupor, I could give you like 20 to do that too. But life's like, nah, it's fine. And anyways, before I forget, on the sharing and dismissiveness, like, it's good to remember intent when somebody does something that you don't like. Don't be vulnerable with everyone. You can, but it's really not recommended. But wanting people to truly see you, like just the thought of it, it's such an interesting topic and a frame of mind to be in. It's so genuine. It's really raw. Like when someone in a show or movie says, I hate the way that you look at me, or stop looking at me like that. Even if the writing is lazy as fuck, it's just a powerful line in and of itself. So writers, for future reference, if you ever want to make a movie and you kind of like, I want this to be powerful, just cheat and give a character a bullshit excuse to use that line, it's going to raise you up a couple of points automatically. It just works.
Also, this is the other side of the coin. It's also your responsibility to open up appropriately. Some people want to wrong you and then open up, right? They'll do something dirty to you and then they want to tell you all their life's trauma that led them to do that dirty thing. That's not the same thing. You might be stressed from a long fucking day of work and you're dead tired just trying to sleep, and I might choose that moment to open up. It's not the right time. You have to have some grace also and understand the other person's perspective. Just trying to balance that portion out. But yeah, do you want to see more?
No.
You're going to see more anyways. A lot of people reacted to this. It went viral. A lot of people chimed in. The couple decided to respond. And there's all kinds of things being said.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw this. Yeah, the lady. Yeah.
So they'd been married just a couple months before this post apparently went up. They had a YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, here it is. That's
the book they wrote?
Mm-hmm. Finding your chairs. A new approach to communication. Yes, the irony.
Good for them.
I just thought it was ironic.
It is.
That couple is the one who's writing a book on communication.
Is it on communication? It's a new approach to communication. Maybe it's not a good one, but it's an approach.
Hey everyone, I'm here today to talk about Wiregate. I know that we've had a lot of comments about our video. It's been very interesting to say.
Okay, I'm going to say it, and I'm probably not going to have much people agreeing with me. Some of y'all are too old for TikTok. I don't care what nobody says. I really think that way.
That's kind of fucked up, man. Let the people have they Tic Tacs, they Tim Tams, they Team Bleems, they Timus. Yeah, let them have them. Because one day, I'm going to be up there too. And if I'm not as successful as they are, I'm going to be like, fuck, I got to do something. So I guess Tic Tac it is. Haha. Shoot me. No, I mean, no, don't do that. Just end my suffering.
The least. None of which I took personally, but what Dan and I did see through all of the comments and all of the responses is that relationships struggle with transparent conversation. Relationships struggle with the honest responses. We have a very unique relationship and we play a lot. And just for the record, Dan is fine. And he's going to be home in just a minute. So
Dan is fine. I bet. That's probably good his response every time you ask him anything from now on.
What are you thinking about? I'm fine.
I'm fine. Man could be holding 10.
That's what I said.
10 things a while.
That's what I said, though. That's what I said.
You did call it.
That's what I said.
Yeah, Dan, I bet. Baba Dan is fit.
That's what I said. Don't worry about that. What you thinking about? Fucking nothing, bitch.
Whoa.
Fucking nothing. But he's gonna say, fine.
Bro gonna hit the doctor house.
You are not just a regular guy who's getting older. You've changed. You're miserable. Of course I changed.
You're afraid to be happy.
You spend your whole life looking for answers. Because you think the next answer will change something, maybe make you a little less miserable. And you know that when you run out of questions, you don't just run out of answers. You run out of hope.
Almost dying changes nothing. Dying changes everything.
And there's apparently another one where they talk together. So
it's fine.
So I can't thank everybody enough for all the comments that you have sent to us about this video that we posted the other day. So I can't thank everybody enough for all the comments.
You've changed. You're miserable.
Last one.
Hi. Welcome. I'm Dan.
And I'm
this is Cindy. Dan actually is known as the Wire Man, which is not bad, but very interesting. And we're going to have a conversation with you about our experience this week, about everything we went through.
Never in our wildest dreams did we think we'd get the response that we got from this video.
First, we're going to address the video. I had an idea for a couple weeks about doing this video because I had been working with some wire that I bought many, many years ago, and I remember how big it was, and I thought I will never go through this wire. And I just had a couple moments with it, and I asked Cindy, I said, come out and film this. There's something I want to do on this. And I had no idea where it was going to go or even if we'd post it. But
neither did I.
And neither did you. And so she just came out to the front porch where I sat with this wire, and I kind of told this story that I was feeling in the last couple weeks. And I might have explained that, and some of you might have heard that. And I just asked her to film. And then at the end, she made a comment about the Jets hat. So I want to look at this in two ways. The first way is... maybe you
Take a breath. Take a breath.
The first way is how much I appreciate the people, men and women, that resonated with what I was doing. I saw one comment was, "Oh, it's all staged," and then I saw another comment that's, "Oh yeah, check out .032 and tell me this would be the best actor in the world." Well, let me be clear: it was not staged. It was not planned. I just said, "Put this on film. I want to. I don't know. Maybe for my grandkids, whatever." Cindy came out and filmed.
But not to interrupt you, but we do that quite often. If we have a feeling, a thought, something we say to each other, we're like, grab the camera, you know, this might end up being something good. We do that often.
It did.
So when you said grab the camera, I was like, I'm on it. Like, I don't know what he's doing, but I'm on it.
We do. We never stage anything. Oh my God, some of the comments and some of the things that people said about men that had stuff from their fathers that... you know, had been around a long time, and every time they go use the tackle box, they see the pliers. You know who you are.
Well, it's just like my coffee cup. My dad drank from a coffee cup on a Friday morning and died on Sunday, and I drink from that coffee mug. Thank you for making my coffee every Friday that coffee mug. And I think that there's, you know, there are things that people hold on to.
What's wrong?
Sorry.
Why are you getting triggered?
Fucking laisse-le parler, dog. This thing is about opening up. This motherfucker opening up. She's interrupting to talk about a fucking mug. Laisse-le parler. You wrote a book on communicating? The first step of communication is shutting the fuck up and listening. If you want to hear what the person has to say. Sometimes, girl. It's just that.
True. Yeah, that's... nothing against her, you know, nothing against what happened to her father. But yeah, like, Preach is right. You need to shut the fuck up. On a side note too, the default male no biggie thing. Yeah, I mean, because you don't feel like anybody really gives a shit. So you just say, no biggie. Because you feel like either they don't give a shit or you'll get chastised for it. Or it's probably going to be a combination of both. Like, I don't think this was planned in the slightest. It's obvious. It should have been obvious to everyone. Especially should have been obvious to her. But I'm not that smart, y'all. But this is like level 1 existentialism. It's a beginner's course. It's like my first existential crisis. Like, it's so easy to pick up on. It's not even, well, it's kind of funny. And on a side note, before I completely forget, the Wire Man is actually kind of a very dope name. I guess it depends on what the person's occupation is and how they became the Wire Man, but the Wire Man is a pretty sick name. But I guess given this context, it kind of makes it less cool, although I can relate to it. Actually, it makes it very underwhelming, but I can relate to it. I fuck with it. It's still underwhelming though. The Wire Man, weeknights at 9.
I'm sorry. It's
okay, get off.
It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild, but hey, maybe I'm reading too much into this.
As the comment said, that, you know, it just kind of brings the memory alive. And I think that's, your spool is just stirring a lot of good memories for you, especially with your brother.
You have to do that?
What? You have to do that?
J'ai rien dit. No, because she spoke about his brother.
And he didn't like that?
Man, c'est comme he's already emotional about the spool of wire and everything and stuff.
And
So it's now that you're doing all this shit It's like when you normally you.
I thought he was mad because she just brought up. It sounds like his brother died.
Yes, and then it's gonna make him cry. It's gonna make him cry. But on top, like it's like yo,
because he didn't bring it up himself.
You know what it is? Would it feel? Should I sit now? No, I'll wait after. Okay. No, fuck it, I'll sit now. You know what it's not? If it makes me feel like she's like yada yada yada. I understand what you're trying to do.
Okay,
I got it. Yeah, your brother died. You know, spool. Yeah, we get it. Memories.
Now I want to talk about the second part, and the second part is Cindy's response to what I was telling her. We share everything. She knows everything about me. And she made that comment. She wasn't thinking about anyone else seeing it, and she wasn't even planning it. She was actually speechless, right?
I was listening to you talk, but so often we listen and we're thinking about what we're going to say to someone, and we're not really hearing them. And I had no idea what he was doing. Like, we've done a lot of things over, the last year or two, and I'm like, God, he's really good at this. And so I'm standing there thinking, is he acting or is he, doing something? And so of course my mind was on, how do I respond? How do I pull him out of this? We had just had a conversation about how the Jets suck.
How to pull him out of this?
No, because it's just a video. I don't know what she's trying to say because oh, you filmed this. All right, I'm filming. Dude, you're crying. Like, is it supposed to be funny? Well, let me just loop it up with a good joke. You know what I mean? Sometimes we do that as comedians. We just there's a situation where we crowd work and it's not good. We try to get, the thing is that she's not a professional, so she tanked. I think I understand what she was trying to say.
But I'm confused. They run like a channel on communication to try to capture real moments in their lives. Why would you pull your partner out of an emotional moment that they're having?
Because it's awkward for them.
So?
Yes, I agree with you.
That's your partner.
Yes.
That's like my girl being like, I'm upset about something someone did to me at work. And I'm like, try to joke out of it when she's trying to explain herself. Yeah, you're just wrong.
Especially if you're filming it.
Who cares if you film it? Who cares if you film it? Why? Because you could just delete it. You're not live streaming. The filming part doesn't even matter.
Fair.
You can literally put your phone down if you want to get your partner to have a conversation. If you're uncomfortable with it, what makes the point of this? I don't get it. To me, what she's saying just don't make much sense.
No, you don't get the pressure.
Pressure of?
The pressure of filming because of there's a camera there. Sometimes I feel the pressure because there's a camera there. That's why sometimes I cannot get my points across, and then I'm put on spot with a video I haven't seen. I have to fucking get information out there so I can understand that part where she messed up. It doesn't completely absolve her of everything that she did and everything and stuff. I understand. I'm like willing to be like, sure. Okay. I kind of understand what you're saying. Fair. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, fuck that. That makes complete sense. No, I'm gonna be like, camera, this and that, filming. You don't even know what the direction is. You don't know. You have no direction. You don't know where you're going with this shit. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what he's trying to do. He just said, go ahead, film, from what they're saying, and I'm gonna take that as it is the word. So I can understand that. I'm not completely...
I guess to me, it's just one of them situations where if I think we're doing a funny video and I start recording and then my partner starts breaking down crying about something, I would just put my phone down.
100%.
I would just change... Like I wouldn't keep doing what I'm doing. To me, it's a weird thing to be like, are you crying? What, is it about your dead dog? Lassie's been dead for 20 years. I wouldn't...
And that's because you got common sense. And you know what the thing about common sense is? It's not that common.
So what I wonder is how much of this is genuine and how much of it is forced? Because how much of this do you want it to be entertainment and how much of it do you want to be, because this is the person that you're with, like this situation, they're married. This is somebody that you said that you would spend the rest of your life with. So in that regard, what part of this can you have as entertainment and it hits that line to where it's still okay until, you just hit like up against that line, versus how much of this is like, okay, this means a lot to this person. They're having a moment. Let me chill, or let's just turn the camera off outright. It's a tough balancing act because it depends on how much this thing means to both of you. It depends on how much it means to the person that's filming or taking part in it, and it's also how much does it mean to both of them together, because moments like this kind of situation is how you get that extra boost in growth. It sucks. It's uncomfortable to deal with, but those kind of moments, they make things go viral. As this is why we're talking about it right now. As averse to if everything went peachy keen with no issues, nobody would be talking about it. They would continue to be proverbially nobodies. Just like me. Abba mentioned balance earlier, but yeah, I think it really applies here as well. You have to decide. Let's say that all things are equal in this situation as far as like communication and understanding. What you have to decide is how much of this do you want to be entertainment and how much of this do you want to be genuine with the person that you're with? Do you feel like they can weather the storm and take a little joke or here and there? Or do we just need to be serious? Is this something that's really important to them? You kind of have to play it by ear. I feel like, or at least when I say play it by ear, it's more so you're with this person, you know what their sensibilities are, or at least you should know, and then you just play it to that sensibility, or at least whatever mutually agreed upon thing that you guys got going. You can still fuck it up. Like either way, it can still get fucked up either way, even with that prior agreement. But that's really the best as you can do as far as trying to find a balance, because here's the kicker. The only reason that we're talking about this, the only reason that it's gotten so much attention is because of this fuck up. If it wasn't because of this fuck up, nobody would be talking about it. It wouldn't be over 1 million people that know that these people exist now. They could be, I mean, I'm not going to say that they're walling away in obscurity, but a million new eyeballs is still 1 million new eyeballs. That's fucking more than me. My soul. Okay. All right. I'm chill, kinda. Anyways, yeah, it's a tough tightrope to walk. The balance is very rough. So, it was a little bit of agony that got out there. I'm sorry, y'all. Wubba lubba dub dub, but I actually mean it.
We had just had a conversation about how the Jets suck, and we're just huge fans. We travel to New York every year to see them, and we had this conversation, and we were so sad that they had such a bad year, and then I see him sitting there with that hat on, and I was like, "You're wearing your Jets hat after we talked about them having such a bad year." So it was maybe a poor response on my part, but I think if you understand who we are and how we talk to each other, and the interactions that we have. I mean, all of our friends are like, "Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Like the video was no big deal." But the people that don't know us, don't understand us, really were offended. And I want to address the idea that there's a difference between intention and perception. And I am sorry that your perception of me was what it was.
Okay, people, this is a time to learn some shit. When someone says, "I'm sorry, you took it the wrong way," that is not a sorry. That's not an apology. You know how I know? I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm saying sorry, but I'm not sorry. But people want to hear, because I really don't care. I don't think I did anything wrong. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry you took it that way. At least I'm sorry of something. But I'm not going to apologize for me doing that thing. And that's what it is. That's not an apology.
I'm sorry you took it that way. It's just my way of saying, here's this accountability. It's yours.
Yes,
that's what you're doing. You're putting it on them.
And sometimes, and to be fair, sometimes you haven't done anything wrong.
Sure,
I can understand that.
But we all acknowledge.
But you also, you're saying
you're not apologizing.
You're not apologizing.
Yeah.
But if you're seeing that from a third person's perspective, like on social media, you don't know the backstory of anybody. Right. And for everybody to assume that she's callous and she's not a nice person and I should leave her, and you're way, way off base. You have no idea what our relationship is like, because this relationship for me is the mother lode. I've never experienced a connection with someone like I do. I've never been felt hurt once. And many people thought, oh my God, she hurt him by not listening to him. So let's just say that you're mistaken. That was an inside joke between us, and she didn't know where this was going to go, and I didn't know this was going to go. But because it touched so many people, we're actually grateful. Regardless of people wanting to jump on Cindy for her reaction, we are grateful because we think that people will think more about man's vulnerability. We will think more about truly listening to each other. And we will also think more about judging someone when we don't know the whole story.
I think it's interesting that he apologized for springing that on her.
But she didn't apologize for hurting his feelings or whatever the fuck she did.
Yeah, and even though he says she's never hurt him, if what he says is true and that was a genuine moment, he looked like he was hurt in that video. And it's his claim that what happened in that video is real. It looked real to me. Did it look real to you?
Yeah.
He looked hurt. So do I believe that she didn't hurt him in that moment? No, I don't believe that. That being said,
coconuts in Barbados.
3 things. People running in and saying, divorce her, I would never marry this person.
Calm down.
You know, the internet is so reactive because you see one moment in someone's relationship and you judge it in its entirety. And at the same time, the internet will say people give up on relationships too fast. It's like the weirdest juxtaposition.
That's true.
And the only reason this video went viral is because it's not a sweet moment. It's not a nice moment. They probably have dozens of videos where they're being really kind and nice to each other, and none of you react to that. Y'all see one bad moment and you like, she's a whore, she's a bitch, and you should leave her. Internet's always like that when it comes to other people's relationships.
Yeah.
Now, in the internet's defense, these people put their relationships up there to be judged.
Out of context.
You know, you put up these clips. You can't expect people to know your whole entire life. So if you're not okay with public scrutiny to this degree, this may not be for you.
Quit.
I'm going to be honest. So those are the 2 things I would say. Like, look, she could be a good partner. She could not be. I don't know. But everyone else pretend like they do off that one moment. I don't know. It's a bit bizarre to me. They say they're happy in their relationship, and you got to just let people kind of figure out themselves. Because if you're not there in their day-to-day, if you don't see all the labors of love that she may be doing for him, vice versa, the things that he needs that she offers, you're not really in a position to tell him what he should look for. But that's what I would say. What do you think?
Now, I will say this person, being that they're older than me, maybe they've done it for much longer, but I'm sorry that you were offended, and I'm sorry that your dumb ass don't know shit. That's very fucking funny. But on a side note, she had a point too. Like, context does matter. That's not a brave nor bold statement, but even though many of your favorite creators who fuck up tend to hide behind that term, the sorry, not sorry. But yeah, as far as the situation is concerned, I mean, they talked about the Jets recently, allegedly. I mean, that's their jam, so shit, fuck it. And if she thinks it's a relevant statement, it makes more sense rather than just like randomly just popping out of the blue with it. From our point of view, it seems like it's random as hell. It's like, what the fuck? It's like you're just taking an opportunity to shit on the Jets, which, like I said before, that is funny, not nice, but funny. And as far as Abba talking about people talking about, oh, you should divorce her and all that other whoop-de-woo shit, I'm a cynical fuck. I think you can probably tell throughout the course of this entire video, but I think that's fair. Like, guys don't get hurt for shit. And you should probably know more about someone before jumping to snap judgments. This is as far as like his wife is concerned. But so many things are just for entertainment. It's hard to remember to do that every single time unless you make it like a strict habit or something. But yeah, snap judgments off of snapshots of people's lives, not the best thing to do. It's just hard to remember not to do it. It's not like people are just like, I'm just gonna go out of my way to make a snap judgment. People just, end of the day, a lot of this is just junk food content. That's just what it is. It's junk food content, so you turn your brain off while you're consuming it, while you're procrastinating at work or on the toilet, or both. Saying he needs to leave or divorce her, it's just, that's dumb as hell. That's very fucking dumb. But like I said, people see it as a sitcom or some drama. They get publicity out of it for what it's worth. Like, I'm talking about them. So I'll add a grand total of 2 views to their view count. This channel with over 2 million subscribers is talking about them. So that's going to add a bunch of views to their view count. That's going to add a bunch of new subs or whatever the case may be. If it was just a wholesome, great time, we wouldn't be talking about it at all. That point of friction is what people want to talk about. That's the point of contention. That's what makes people watch. That just keeps them engaged. That's what's, I hate to say it, that's the name of the game. If it was wholesome, people wouldn't give a fuck. That's just the truth of the matter. They aren't making this stuff for a grand total of my regular views, which is trash. So thanks, YouTube. So please, yes, YouTube, please, yes. Instead of giving me views for busting my ass, let's give these views to Mr. Beast. I paid 100 people to wipe their hands inside a millionaire's asshole kind of video. But whatever. Subscribe and hook me up with some money. I'm suffering here. Thanks. Love y'all. Hope you had fun watching this. Bye-bye.